Ladies and gentlemen, we are here right now with the 2019 edition of the legendary Hospital Christmas podcast. As you can see, I'm coming at you live and direct from Lapland.
That music is so powerful. There's quite the harmonic.
The best thing about Lapland
When I'm in the grips of it,
is that being Santa Claus, I am the king of Lapland, and we don't have politics.
do you understand what I'm talking
So it
about?
doesn't matter what happened at the election, because we've got drum and bass. You have sent in your favourite 10 tracks from the last decade, and I've made my own chart as well. And we're going to alternate them, and we're going to kick off with your number 10 voted tune from 2010. I know, 2010 to 2019, you think it adds up to 9, but it doesn't. It adds up to 10. And you chose Kingdom by Spor. Ugh. Massive shout out to Spor. Please come back properly as Spor. And a big shout to 2010 actually, because quite a lot was going on. Obviously on the negative side, EDM was starting. But we'll forget about that now, because on the positive side, we had the last ever hospitality at Matter. Can you believe that we finished going there 10 years ago? I cannot believe that. But it is true. Some other highlights. Oh yeah, Rusco turned up and smashed the dance after his laptop initially crashed. Shock horror. Andy C headlined hospitality at Brixton in September 2010. Naturally, it sold out in about -5 seconds. Big shout to Andy C. What other highlights were there? We released Netsky 1 10 years ago, which was an absolutely brilliant liquid drum and bass album. Maybe we should do an anniversary edition. And before you ask, if you're wondering about this hat, it's a dub plate. My Rave Man bag, however, is not a dub plate. Available on the hospital shop while stocks last. Do not expect any harmonic in-key mixing. This is the Christmas podcast. It's voted tunes. And you do not vote and I do not select in-key. We select our favourite tunes of a particular year. Now, my favourite from 2010 could only be one tune. And it is by Calibre. Obviously, you can hear it's Even If. Massive shout to Calibre for giving what I thought was an amazing interview on the Drum and Bass Awards. Very, very rare that you get to see an interview by this man. So this is mine, London Elektricity's choice for 2010's best tune. Let's appreciate.
Even if we love, doesn't mean that you have to be always there when you have to see my own fear of me. Even if we care, it's hard to mean some things after watching you go through the news. Even if we love, even if we care, even if we love, even if we care, even if we love, even if we care, even if we love, even if we care.
And I have lost my sheet of shouts, so I better go and get it while we have this amazing tune on. Otherwise, I'll be shoutless. Hold tight.
It seems to me they're coming down. Even if we care, it's hard to mean some things after watching you go through the news.
Shout in from Carl James, who says, can I have a shout out to my little sister who couldn't attend Hospitality Estonia 2019, but it was a banging night. We're both looking forward to the Christmas special. It's a great tradition in our family. After Santa comes, by the 24th evening, everyone has to perform a poem to Santa Claus to obtain their present. Nice. And you have to know a lot of them, dependent on how many presents for you there are in Santa's bag. Kids will play and then go to sleep. The adults, however... Wait.
Even if we love,
The adults start to enjoy cocktails. Well, a few cocktails.
that you have to be
And for me and my sister's delight, we will queue up the Christmas podcast.
there when you have to see my
Our other relatives are not amused, but it's the same procedure every year.
even if we care.
Yes, Carl, that sounds like a very good Christmas routine to me.
Hard to mean some things
It beats the Tory graph crossword.
watching you go through the news. Even if we love,
I love this tune so much.
if we care, even if we love, even if we care, even if we love,
And this was a complete surprise to me, as chosen by you, the audience. Your favourite tune of 2011. It's London Elektricity featuring Elsa Esmeralda from the Yikes album. This is Meteorites. Shout to Kenny Frankland, who made the most amazing cosmic video for this. If you haven't seen it, check it out on YouTube. Really, really dark now. Can you see the stars?
I was just gonna leave here, but something changed my mind. Will curiosity kill me when meteors hit the ground? How can I escape now? Craters all around. In my laboratory, I study the matter, supernatural force. I keep putting my shield up, I keep reading the small print. One speeding star.
Watch out for the meteorites. Here they come. Kind of hard to read shouts out because there's vocals all the way through this track. Yes, Elsa, who heralds from Sweden, which is quite close to where I come from, Lapland. Swedes tend to be third on the present run after Finland and Estonia. I've usually run out of presents by the time I go all the way around the world and come back to Russia, which is why I'm sorry, Russians, but you don't normally get that many presents, so I'm sorry about that. And it looks like we're keeping things cosmic in 2011. And this is my choice, my favourite tune from 2011. It's a collaboration between the late, great Marcus Intalex and Carlos Lima, aka S.P.Y, Celestial Navigation. Shout in from Dave Wallace, who says Christmas has come early. Looking forward to hearing the Christmas podcast. If you do call us, of course I do shout outs. Can you shout my wife Victoria, who has been indoctrinated to the drum and bass cause because of the Apex, rest in peace also, remix of Just 1 Second. Keep making the world a better place with your fantastic music. Thank you, Dave. That's why we're here, that's why we try and do what we do. Malcolm Payne is sending a Christmas shout out to his amazing love, Kimberly Sampson. He says, I wish for another year of amazing music and love. Merry Christmas to you and all the hospital crew. And I want to send a shout out to Matthias and all of the crew who run Curve. Curve manufacture, well, they don't manufacture, they code our royalty accounting software, and they sent us a rather nice box of chocolates. You see, if you send in chocolates, you get a shout. It's as simple as that. And in 2011, we hosted our first ever hospitality in Miami, which is in the United States of America. And it featured DJ Craze, Netsky and Danny Bird in an amazing half indoor, half outdoor venue. And Danny was playing vinyl, and a kid came up to him and said, "What are those big CDs that you're playing?" My own children have actually asked me that very same question at home, but they were about 3 at the time. Obviously, I'm not making any comments about EDM ravers at all. Let's move on to 2012. What is your favourite tune of 2012? I think you can tell, can't you? It is, of course, Fredry and Grafix, Major Happy. There are various theories floating around the internet as to why Fred V and Grafix decided to kind of like divide like a single cell organism into two amoeba. One theory is so they wouldn't have to keep playing Major Happy because they played it too many times. I don't think it's possible to play it too many times. Personally, it's fun. And in 2012, we returned to Fabric with Hospitality. And in room 2, we booked Schacht de France, which was like some kind of mad Duke dance hall German band, so that we could all go mental in room 2, apparently. I don't remember any of this. I actually don't remember any of the last decade at all, by the way, so I'm kind of here like a very, very objective bystander. I don't remember anything I've done or any of the music that I've made. Who's this? And shouting from Simon Muir, who got his second signed copy of something. He's in Canada. He said, my first signed copy was yikes. I just wanted to say that again. Yeah, well, he likes my new album. That's nice. That's really nice. Thank you very much. The album's called Building Better Worlds. And so it's not really sickly. Simon says things like quality of sound, serious stuff, incredible sound, orgasm in my ears, boom boom in my car. Thanks again, Tony. I just get really embarrassed when there's like, you know, when people like things you've done too much. Wow, total coincidental key mix. Yes. What was my favourite tune of 2012? Well, I think you probably all know. You must know. It is, of course, this. Now, interesting thing about this tune is it predates Technomatic. It's when they were still called Technicolour and Chromatic. So this is Technicolour and Chromatic and LSB, Rotary Motion. Phenomenal piece of music, timeless. My favourite tune of 2012. As you can see, I am now driving my sleigh across the desert. It's probably Arizona, I can't really tell. It's just loads of sand everywhere and I'm going quite fast. I feel like I'm in Breaking Bad. Shout out to Ed Friction. And David Neagle says what he wants for Christmas is to be well again. But a cracking good podcast will certainly help. David, I want you to be well again as well. I'm going to try and bring you that present. And Jez Armstrong wants to not have the flu. That probably applies to most people I know. Nikki, with lots of eyes after her name. Well, she wants quite a simple present, good tunes. Nikki, you're not going to be disappointed because I know what's coming up next year. I can see into the future. We've now moved on to 2013. And I think you know what this is. Check out those signifiers, those idents at the beginning. One of the best tunes of the entire decade. This is New Logic, Everlasting Days. You have extraordinarily good taste. Shout out to Lifford on vocals. Shout out to Dan Gresham and Matt Gresham, aka Newtone and Logistics, and the rest of the Gresham family, because they're all amazing. Yeah. Chose Everlasting Days. I chose Weightless. Quite a lot of you chose Weightless as well, but you were just pipped to the post by Everlasting Days. From Etherwood's first album, which is called Etherwood, this This is Weightless, and this is the tune that accompanied me falling off the stage in Moscow, gashing open my head, and giving myself 6 months of concussion, but I still managed to get up and get back on stage and get back in the mix. However, I can tell you that I know what it's like to try and fly. I can also tell you the Russian stages do not have safety tape along the edge to show you where the edge is. So yeah, as you can see, we're now in England, and I've had to put my woolly hat on. This is actually the original knitted pom-pom hat that we probably were selling around about 2013. I think we made about 50 of them, maybe 80, and it was from a factory in Wales, and they were actually hand knitted by members of the Women's Institute. It's true. We tried to reorder a second batch, but sadly they'd all passed away. So I prize this hat, I really do. Massive shout out to everyone in the Women's Institute who listens to drum and bass. Shout in from Ute, who says, "Hi Tony, on the 5th of June this year, I decided to listen to every single hospital podcast upload from start to finish. Yesterday, I finished. And it only took 5.5 months. And I've got to tell you, it was a blast. But what do I do now? Do I go for round 2? Anyway, keep on pumping out those podcasts, and I hope there will be at least 400 more to come. Ute, I think you should listen to them all backwards. See if you can endure that, because honestly, anyone who can endure listening to all of the podcasts can basically endure anything. Oh my gosh. This is the sound of 2014. As voted by you, and what a selection, I may say. The sound of Larry Calyx on vocals. It's Calyx and Teebee. Elevate this sound.
Somewhere in between, fear of something. It seemed to have a hold on me. Then I changed, and I could take my mind wherever thoughts rearranged. And blend the colors back together. Now I found the visions in my dreams unbound. Music melts down. It's time to elevate this sound.
Such a tune.
It's time to elevate this sound.
Big shout out to Larry, Calyx and Teebee.
Music melts down. It's time to elevate this sound.
I've got a lot of respect for any duos who make music together, who keep it going for year upon year. It's not easy.
It had to be now or never, 'cause I was going round in circles, lost forever. I couldn't overcome the hurdles, all or nothing. It was never somewhere in between. Fear of something, it seemed to have a hold on me. Then I changed, and I could take my mind wherever. Thoughts rearranged and blend the colors back together. Now I found the visions in my dreams unbound. Music melts down. It's time to elevate this sound.
So 2014. What were our kind of event-based highlights? Let's have a look. Oh, we did our first ever barbecue at Studio 338. It was incredible. It was unbelievably hot. The main room was like a greenhouse. I was still playing dub plates and they were melting.
Now or never,
They did actually go soft.
forever. All or nothing. Fear of something. Then I changed. Thoughts rearranged. Now I found music melts down. It's time to elevate this sound.
I asked my Instagram followers about an hour ago what they wanted for Christmas, and about 5 of them have replied. A Chavalzan says, I already have received the main Christmas present, the Building Better World CD. Big thanks again. Well, that's lovely of you to say that. And someone called J. Gomez Duran, who I think is actually a dog, says, I want you for Christmas, Tony. Like, it's a private account and there's just a picture of a dog. So, that's why I'm saying that. No other reason. And Miss Baltica says, I would like all my health issues to be gone. Yeah, I know I'm asking for a miracle. Well, they can happen. You never know. Stekodat, of course, is asking for a socialist government and a better future for all. As I'd said, in Lapland we don't do politics. But for the rest of the world, well, we may have to wait a while. My favourite tune from 2014. And it's taken me a few years to actually realise this. But it is by Logistics. And it is the amazing Wanderlust. It's a really understated classic. Claire Rose Lloyd says, "Hi Tony." Hello Claire. "Can I get a shout out for my husband and I? The weekend before Christmas we'll be celebrating our 5th wedding anniversary and his 30th birthday. You were going to give a shout out last year in Australia, but then you deleted your social media and I don't think the podcast from there happened. It actually happened from New Zealand last year. Have a look, it's there, it's still there. It's a good one as well." Ashley, shout out to Chris from Breaking Beats in New Zealand. Anyway, Claire says, "I wanted us to go to the dock and the beach next year, having an epic 2020 to celebrate our 5 years of marriage, both turning 30 and probably the last year before we start a family. But, what? We've now got a friend's wedding and we can't go to either. Must be a long wedding." That's a lame excuse. I'm truly gutted. Please be doing the park next year so that I can get my fix. I may even have to put off having babies so that I can go to the beach in 2021. Don't quite know what to say about that. I don't think you should put off having babies. Well, maybe you should. You see, it's all kind of relevant, you know. It's like, or relative, I should say. Babies are simultaneously the best things and the worst things in your life when you have them. And I realise that I have just made every mother who listens to this podcast seethe with anger by saying what I just said, because men have no idea at all whatsoever about how difficult it is to have a baby and then raise a baby. And it's true, I don't have any idea. There's no way I could dig myself out of that grave. I'm in there. There's only one remedy, and that is for you to vote for Noisia, producing the best track of 2015. It's Incessant. As you can see, I am now in an industrial post-apocalyptic landscape. Oh, it's not. Okay. I thought I was. It's actually a toy shop. I wonder what London Elektricity chose as his best tune of 2015. You won't be able to guess. It's the Riot Jazz Brass Band and their cover version of Beautiful Lies, written by B Complex. And this appeared in the Christmas Cracker of 2015. Christmas Eve 2015. I think it's absolutely essential that we reload this tune from the beginning. And talking about Beautiful Lies, you may remember from podcast 400, which was on a boat, that we threw Boris Johnson off the side of the boat into the Thames. Now, obviously, everyone on board thought that he would have drowned. It certainly looked like it, because he can't swim. However, he's back. So Boris, have you got anything to say about Beautiful Lies? I don't understand. Was that a denial or was that an affirmation? What I mean is, have we got years and years and years of lives? I hope we've got years of lives. Have we got years of lies ahead of us? I think that's yes. Boris, I don't know what to do. You seem to have 9 lives. I've tried to drown you. I can't set you on fire in here because there are smoke detectors. I'm not sure what to do. I can just try hanging you. I don't know. Anyway, I hope to not see you soon. Have a very unhappy Christmas, Boris. Yeah, see you later. For your 2016 choice, you actually chose my favourite tune, which is quite hard to mix in with the brass band, but it's this.
Some time away from you.
It is, of course, The View. It's DRS featuring LSB and Tyler Daley. Massive shout to Del. And nice speech on the Drum and Bass Awards, Dale. That was wicked.
The only thing that ever really changed was the view.
Feeling out of range, pushing all the right buttons. I can feel it though the flames, drawing me closer at the same time, pushing me, building me up, but at the same time crushing me. Bittersweet symphony, falling, no cushioning. Impatient stakeout, premature rushing in. It never starts where it begins. We was made to fly, so that's why my heart's one on my wings, and that's regardless of my sins and everything that comes with them. My life's a drummer but with no rhythm, but I won't give in. I feel closer than I've ever been, banging on the door till someone lets me in. You see, regrets begin where happiness is dying down, struggling, deciphering who's lying now until I'm lying down. The only thing you'll get is me. Change the system or just let it be.
The only thing that ever really changed was the view.
And as you can see, the view behind me is changing rapidly at the moment.
Now I know I'll never be the same 'cause of you. It's been a long, long time since I had you here. Oh, and now that you're so close, when all that I need most is some time away from you.
Yes, love is wild.
And 2015 held some very, very sweet and bitter memories for us.
Just give up. Stop.
We had Diane Charlemagne coming into the office early in the year to record vocals for Etherwood's Caption. She came bowling up the stairs and hugged everybody and tried to round up everybody to sing with her. She was a force of nature. And then very, very sadly, towards the end of the year,
Really changed
she passed away.
was the view.
Massive shout to Diane Charlemagne, right up there.
Now I know I'll never be the same 'cause of you.
And drum and bass will never be the same because of her.
It's been a long, long time since I had you here. Oh, and now that you're so close, when all that I need most is some time away from you.
And we are halfway through the decade. What did I choose for my favourite tune after you stuck this tune for me? Have you got it yet? Yes, a consummate piece of high energy loungecore produced by the one and only Hugh Hardie. This is Light It Up. Luke Gibbons says, I'd love a shout out for Christmas, firstly because I'm a huge fan of you and the label, but more importantly, I'm hoping my friends that listen will become inspired to attend Hospitality on the Beach 2020. Well, they better not hang about. Tickets are selling 50% faster than they sold last year. We all attended the first ever one, and we were the OG beach crew, and we haven't been able to go since. It was amazing this year. Merry Christmas to you, your family, and everyone involved in Hospital Records. Big love from Luke Gibbons. Yes, Luke. Thank you, mate. Have a wicked Christmas. Andy Nord says, well, I want to work with your beautiful label. But this fantastic desire is almost like believing in miracles. Merry Christmas, my dear musicians. I wish you even more releases and even more cool parties. Cheers. Aren't people nice? And I know I'm going to get a lot of aggro from upstairs for wearing this dub plate hat, but it is a dub plate. There are only 2 in the world, as far as I know. Okay, now let's see what you, the public, in your expertise chose as the best tune of 2017. I'll try and mix it. I don't know what key it's in. You chose Keeno featuring Abbie Rose, Is This the Way? An excellent choice, I may add.
You see.
Oh, I have missed out some event news. So in 2015, we put on our first ever India show, selling it out, and then we realised that drum and bass was truly becoming a worldwide phenomenon. In 2016, we did the first edition of Hospitality in the Park, taking for us a massive, massive event risk. But we were rewarded by the faith of our audience, and we sold all 10,000 tickets. I also locked Mullet in the studio, and he set the alarm off in 2016. And one day, and this was actually captured on CCTV, but unfortunately, well, probably fortunately, not archived. I drove into the car park of the old hospital building, got out of my car, and there was this really horrible smell. And I looked around, and there behind a pile of pallets was a woman squatting, doing her business. So obviously I kind of told her what I thought of her, and she pulled her dress up and ran off. And this has been given to me by the hospital staff. This is one of their highlights of 2016. which tells you a lot about them actually.
Is this the way? Is this the way?
And 2017, we put on our first ever 3-room multi-warehouse hospitality event at Bristol. We did our first ever Tobacco Dock show and raving in a Grade 1 listed incredible piece of London architecture. We're coming back there in April with a vengeance. And also in 2017, it was amazing, Danny Bird started delivering new music. After a hiatus of about 5 years. Massive shout to Danny, been part of the squad from day one pretty much. Yes, it had to be. 2017 saw the release of what has become a huge tune. The S.P.Y remix of Metrik, We Got It, featuring Rothwell.
It's been a long time waiting, been a long time waiting on you, on you. I got a lot of love riding, I got a lot of love riding on you, on you. You tell me I can do what I wanna do, you tell me I can be who I wanna be.
Come on.
Let me hear, don't let me down.
I want to hear you now, come on, let's go! Quite possibly the best pre-drop 16 bars ever produced. Leon Cardin says, or Leon Cardin, hi Tony, shout out to Danielle, Renee and Jackson. All the hospital crew and the med school peeps have a merry, merry Christmas. One love. And Ian Allsop wants a shout out to all the Lowestoft Raven crew. Wow, Lowestoft, haven't been there for ages. Was a hospital Cambridge Saturday and it absolutely rocked. I'm home for Christmas this year and I'm not on my oil platform in the Persian Gulf. Happy Christmas, hospital family. Ian, I'm just wondering what Christmas is like on an oil platform. Okay, let's move on to 2018 now, and your choice, the most voted tune from 2018. One of my favourite producers, and I was absolutely delighted that you chose this tune. It's by Seba. And it's Time Will Tell. To give a shout out as well to the Lady Culminator, to the Chairman and the Secretary General for putting up with me in 2019. I was, for most of the year, particularly moody because I was making my album, and you get in this kind of like zone where the album's pulling you along and you're really kind of in it. And then when the album's finished, well, for me this year, I was actually really down in the dumps for about 3 months. So I want to thank my family for putting up with me and just getting on with life. I finally feel back to normal now. And also a shout out to everyone who sent me very, very kind comments about my album, Building Better Worlds. It's been quite a big year for me. Loads of gigs. And I've met loads of amazing people on the road. The drum and bass community never ceases to amaze me.
To my friends, they told me, bro, it ain't worth it. You know how these things turn out in the end.
2018, baby.
But baby, I can't pretend. It's all my fault, I'm returning. It ain't so easy just to knock it on the head.
It's Degs.
When I'm feeling like I'm falling into you, because just this one time you're making me unwind and see the truth. I never really wanted this, I gave you my excuse. You're taking the control, I'm watching it unfold, but I'm feeling good. Well, it was 8:21 on a Saturday, right? Had no plans to go out.
I signed Degs in the summer of 2017, August, when everyone was on holiday.
Message came up, hey.
And Chris Blue Martin showed me his Facebook page.
Hey. You're home all on your own, no makeup, hey. So persuasive.
And Degs was freestyling the most amazing stuff, and I just felt we had to sign him. So I bypassed our normal kind of committee style procedure where we talk about things around the table and just got him signed. And he came through with Poveglia straight away. Well, almost. It became a full hospital and hospitality anthem in 2018, and it continues to be so. And I'm happy to tell you that Degs has completed his debut album. Man's had an amazing year. Next year, who knows what's going to happen? Special shout out to DJ Lens, who plays for the Degs show.
Like I'm falling into you, because just this one time you're making me unwind and see the truth.
And we are almost at 2019.
I gave you my excuse. You're taking the control, I'm watching it unfold, but I'm feeling good. I pull up and we ride, even though we know it's the worst thing that we could do. We've been lost for a while.
Actually, I've got a highlight of 2017 I forgot to tell you about, which was touring the London Elektricity big band.
Abandoning sense and balancing friends.
It was absolutely incredible.
Girl, you set precedence.
Massive shout out to everyone involved. Steve Pycroft, Leanne Carroll, Ema Deneen, Dynamite MC, and the whole Riot Jazz horn section.
I'm feeling like I'm falling into you, because just this one time you're making me unwind and see the truth. I never really wanted this, I gave you my excuse. You're taking the control.
And there could only be one tune that you voted. It's 2019, baby. It's Urbandawn, baby. The man who won Best Track at the Drum and Bass Arena Awards. This is his cover version of Come Together by the Beatles featuring Tyson Kelly. I'm so happy on so many levels for Felipe at Urbandawn. He's been working so hard since we signed him. And finally people are understanding his sound. Felipe played all the guitar and bass parts himself. Now, we are right here, right now, in the present, and my favourite tune of 2019. There were so many to choose from, but there's one that I consistently draw for in my sets and consistently love so much for its simplicity and its originality, which is everything that I crave in drum and bass. And it's by the Kings of the Rollers, and it's called Guitar Track. Massive shout to everybody tuning in, subscribing, or watching the podcast. To everybody who makes drum and bass, to all of the promoters worldwide who put our parties on and who put other people's parties on. And most of all, to everyone who comes out to our events and subscribes or buys music, whether you buy vinyl, whether you pay for Spotify or whatever. However you consume your music, it's all good because you're part of our family. And we love you for that. This bit. Been an amazing year for the Kings of the Rollers with their Royal Rumble events brand as well. It's been a brilliant year for S.P.Y with his dubplate style brand. And for us at Hospital Records this year, we got the keys to our new building. And we built a proper studio. I'm in it right now. And we feel, although we really miss Dartmouth Road, we feel very good about this place. It's been a 23-year journey. Who knows where we're going to go next? But you're going to find out in 2020. And hopefully I will see you at Hospitality in the Dock, Hospitality on the beach in Tisno, if you're quick. And hopefully Hospitality in the park as well. So, have an amazing Christmas. And have a very happy New Year. As you can see, it is a white Christmas after all. And I'm going to leave you with the music and the snowflakes. Peace out. I'm London Elektricity. It's been my pleasure to bring you the Hospital Christmas Podcast 2019 edition.